Hi, guys. Welcome to my new podcast, This Unbelievable Life. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to fill your time with stories, with value, and with inspiration. You are so important to me, though. I just want to start off with telling you if you think of a question, by all means, please send it in. I want this podcast to open up dialogue for us. So if you think of anything as we're going along, email it to me, text it to me so that we can start a conversation. Like that's 100% like what this is about. So talk to me, tell me your questions, tell me, your feedback. I want to hear from you. Text it in, email it in. Let's talk. So I want this podcast to be a means of capturing some of my history. I want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. And I want to look back on this time together and feel like we've dove into topics of importance. I want to find speakers who engage us, and I want to archive what I feel is a very unique time in our history right now. So for today, I'm going to start with a really quick bio. You all are going to learn like so much more about me, but for today, we'll keep it really brief and short. My name is Nikki Davis. I am 44 years old. I have been married to my college sweetheart for 22 years. We've been together for 26. I am a real estate agent, a realtor whose family flips houses on the side. I was in the nonprofit sector for 11 years. I am an online wedding and home magazine editor with my best friend and business partner, Joelle. And we recently just purchased 20 acres together. I'm taking 13 and a half. She's taking 6.5. And we are creating this dream property together. We are building our houses together. I am doing a flower farm. We should be having animals out there very soon. It is going to be absolutely amazing. But that is going to take us into our first topic. But before we get there, I tell you my number one hat is my mom hat. I am a mom to two young adults, two teenagers, we'll call them young adults, four rescue dogs, a bunny, rescue bunny, and bees. So mom is my favorite hat. But back to that exciting project, today's topic where we are going to take off on this very first episode of This Unbelievable Life is about the move. Dun, 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 dun. This was my first home sale and move as a real estate agent. And I think it's critical for me to talk about this process because and to go through this process as a way of gaining perspective and empathy for my clients. It really doesn't matter how much planning you put into something. My motto has always been, in the professional realm and just with life, expect the unexpected. Because that's totally what happened to us. And it's going to happen to you guys, whether you like it or not, kind of in these situations. So what I want you to do is to take the things that I've learned firsthand, and hopefully you can assist yourself and your loved ones when you go through a move, because you can learn from my lessons to make it just that much more easy for you. So first off, let's start with the emotional toll of moving. Not everyone might be on the same page when it comes to a move, and it's important to address people's feelings, or at least respect them. What do I mean by that? For me, I was leaving my dream home. Now, granted, thankfully, I was trading one dream for another. So I have big things to look forward to. But that doesn't mean I didn't cry a lot of tears. Didn't mean I didn't have to say goodbye to a lot of memories in that home. And it didn't mean that I didn't have to give myself a lot of grace with the process. The house that I was leaving, I spent years pursuing. My family and I put 8 years into rehabbing, and it just, I don't even know, we put so much love into that home. It was my labor of love. We took it from no HVAC, no electricity, no plumbing, and having to put around 250 sheets of drywall. You could see through walls, you could see through floors, and we virtually turned it into a $500,000 property. That's how much love and labor, blood, sweat, and tears we put into that house. And saying goodbye was not easy. So what happened was we have aging parents, and we realized that we needed a house with a first floor master. And so we had to make a decision. We had to make a very hard decision because we have to, as a family, prepare for the what ifs. Was the decision easy? No. Was it necessary? Absolutely. And I have zero regrets of selling that house and moving on to our next dream. Because again, I am looking forward. I am looking ahead to the big things that we have in store for our family. So, who else does this emotional toll of a move have, and who would this apply to that it might be hard to make a move? Well, I could easily say that it's applicable to a lot of the clients I worked with. Couples that are divorcing and they have to sell the house. Sometimes one, the other of them, or their children don't want to move, but they have to because of having to sell the house because of needing the sale for per the divorce decree. Or this can happen when one spouse passes away and the home is just simply too big for the surviving spouse to maintain. You know, however long it takes that person to come to grips with that, it's a very hard thing. And sometimes adult children have to assist with that process, hold that person's hand. It's very emotional and heartbreaking and hard. Sometimes aging parents just can't maintain a large property, and it's time to either move into a condo where lawn maintenance is done for you, or it might be time to move into a nursing home even. So there are a lot of different scenarios, but either way, sometimes people have lived in those homes for years and they have created generations of memories, and it's really hard to say goodbye to. So where do we start? For me, it was looking to the next step. And if it's you or you're helping that person move out, focus on the positive. Like I said, I cried a lot of tears. I had to give myself a lot of grace, and I expect you to do the same thing for yourself or whoever you are helping in this situation. Give the grace. You can cry the tears. You can cry as many tears as you want. But focus on the positive. Focus on what you have to look forward to. What can you set your sights on when it's all said and done? Because this process will take work. And quitting in the middle, it's not an option. I'm sorry. It's just not allowed. I'll give you one, maybe two pity parties, but then you have to get yourself together because the freight train is moving forward. And this is whether you have an emotional attachment or not. I mean, this could be the most exciting move ever. You are so excited. But this process is stressful. Packing is stressful. Moving is stressful. Logistics are stressful. So it's moving forward. It's literally like a freight train. So you have to mentally, just pump yourself up for this process. You've got this. You so have got this. And you just have to get yourself into a mental frame of mind that you, on the other end of this, are going to accomplish this. And by gosh, at the end of this, you are going to be in your new place. You're going to have your boxes. You can unpack and you can enjoy that process, but you have got this. Because like I said, when the freight train's moving forward, there's no stopping it. When contracts are signed and a house is sold, dates are put in motion that you have to hit. I can say that both from a realtor and from a seller perspective. So you have to plan accordingly and possibly pre-plan accordingly if you have a lot of stuff. And boy, did I have a lot of stuff. We had an over 9,000 square foot house, plus a carriage house, plus a massive shed. And I wanted to go through the carriage house and the shed and have a run and sale, which I did. I started to do that. But we still have 5, count them, 5 storage units that we have stuff in because we're still building our house. And we spent about a month or so, prior to the listing, moving stuff to the storage units. And then we listed the house, what I felt was relatively vacant, save for the stuff we had to live off of for a few months. And then we moved this rest of the stuff after we closed. And I told Bob, I said, I don't want to pay for another storage unit when we've got that whole shed in the back. So the shed was really the sticking issue where we had a lot of items left. So when I talk about we moved the rest of the stuff out after we closed, see in Indiana, if you're not from here, we can ask for days possession after closing. And we asked for 30 because our house is being built. But I know though in other states, it's automatic immediate possession. I'm so grateful we didn't have to do immediate possession. But we asked for the 30 days, and because we were going to essentially do a second phase of moving after we signed sealed on the deal. And we needed every minute of that time. I'll be very honest. Like we had a 12 o'clock deadline on the last day we were supposed to be out on the 30 days, and I was out at 11:15 a.m. So we needed literally almost every minute of that time because it was such a tedious move. But we talk about stuff, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit, paring down, but you just really don't realize how many things you have in your home until you start moving and packing them up and organizing them. So let's get to the actual tips that I have in terms of a move. First and foremost, and this is going to have to do with anytime you're considering a move, hire a realtor. Have him or her do a walkthrough prior to going to market, because that person can assist you with not only all of the handholding of the entire process, but he or she can tell you, you know what, you can pack up those frames on the wall. You can pack up those teddy bears. You can pack up all these non-essential things and get them out of the way now, because the 20 boxes you can pack up now are 20 boxes you have to pack up. You don't have to pack up later. So if there are items that won't be necessary for actually showing the house, again, it's less you have to pack later. Two, if you're going to, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, you should get a storage unit and move out as much stuff ahead of time. The less clutter you have for showings, the better. Homes that are neutralized, for example, no personal items on the wall, like no family photos, that sort of thing, and the paint colors are neutralized versus bold colors, and have less stuff lying around, tend to show better than their messy counterparts. And as a reminder, first impressions, they're everything. So, people that are coming into a home, they want to picture themselves in it, not you and your family. So the alternate to a storage unit is, if you want to box up your stuff, do it very neatly. Don't just be throwing stuff all haphazard. Do it very neatly and stack it in a garage or in a corner of one room. People know that you're moving. So seeing boxes in a house, like moving boxes, is not unheard of. They expect it. You're moving. And again, putting stuff in a garage is going to be free versus the cost of a storage unit. So there's a cost saving element to that. But just try to keep everything contained to like one corner, so that the home buyers can still see the large size of your garage or the large size of your room. Next, allot as many days as feasibly possible to this move situation, because, as I said, expect the unexpected. We thought we had allowed plenty of days. We hired the largest size U-Haul that we could rent, and we had our people in line that we were going to pay to help us move. 2 of them did not show up. 2 paid people did not show up. And it rained cats and dogs the day that we were supposed to move. So yeah, it really threw our timeline off, and it really pinched us on the back end to make sure that we could get everything out. So cushion days, allot as many days as possible. Expect the unexpected. Hours spent, days spent, time off work, time away from projects of importance, time away from projects that brought us joy, time away from working on our new house, time I cannot get back. Hours, and hours. So as much as you can pre-plan as possible, that is just going to save you a headache and time and energy and stress, because the more you do on the front end, the less you got to do on the back end. Next, number 4, consider paying movers. Whether that is a college kid or a pro, sometimes monetary incentive will actually get somebody there to help. Now I know my guys were supposed to be paid and I had 2 not show up. So even sometimes money doesn't make a difference, but sometimes it really does. But if you've got family and friends coming to help you, please reward them handsomely with like food and beverages. thank yous and gratitude cannot go far enough when it comes to moving. So please reward anybody that helps you in however means you can. And I had one client even mention a packing party. I think that sounded so fun. So just, please reward anybody that takes the time and effort to help you move, because in this day and age, people don't have a lot of time. So if they are giving of their time to help you move, please reward them in some way, shape, or form. Next, we invested in totes. Bob got us the black totes from Costco. My preference is clear totes, like what they talk about on the home edit. I think that's part of why my stuff sat for so long in our storage shed, was it because I couldn't see in the totes. So my preference again is the clear totes, because you can actually see in them, know what's in them, then you can address them. But either way, totes make it fantastic. They make it easy when you're packing, pack and stack. When you're loading them into like a U-Haul, they stack so well. And then, for example, when we finally get our new house, everything is going to go in the garage. And it's going to pack and stack very nice for the garage, because we're going to go through every item again before it even goes into the house. So the stacking element of totes and getting the same kind of tote is huge. Then we're going to repurpose them. I have all kinds of Pinterest DIY uses for my totes. But if I didn't, I think I could very easily resell them on like Facebook Marketplace, because we got actually really nice totes. So totes is one of my ideas. Next, don't be afraid to pare down what you own. I just had so much stuff, and we're actually downsizing. So I have to get rid of a lot of my things. And that process started when I was packing for the move. And I'm actually going to continue that process when we get the new house. Nothing is coming into that house until I can review the tubs, the totes. And I have to ask myself, do I really need it? Do I really need it? Does it bring me joy? Is it a memory that I need to preserve? Because if I don't need it, it's gone. It is going to be so gone, because I don't have the room. I don't have the space. It's not going to match the aesthetic of the new house. And I'm going to be very picky about what makes its way into the new house. So we're either going to pitch it, we're going to donate it, or if it makes the cut, then it can come in. So just, think about, this is the opportunity and this is the time to pare down what you own and doing that. Lastly, give yourself time to clean, declutter, tidy the home before leaving. Please, a lot, maybe a couple hours a day, maybe. So do you have to? No, you just have to be out by a certain day and time. But it is a common courtesy, I repeat, courtesy, to pass that home off in a presentable manner when you pass over the keys. And that does include having the yard cut. So I understand that everyone's definition of clean is different. But all I ask from a realtor standpoint is do the best that you can. When you move into your next place, even though you will probably go in and clean it for yourself, you would expect the same courtesy. You would not want to walk into the door in a filthy, dirty house, or even a moderately dirty house. Like, you would expect the same courtesy. So give the same courtesy to the people you're leaving as what you would expect when you move into your new house. Me, I spent 2 days cleaning my house from top to bottom. It was almost a manic level of clean, because that was part of like my way of saying goodbye to the house. I wanted these people to have a wonderful first impression of the house when they came in the doors. Will they probably find a dust bunny? Will they probably find a little bit of dog hair? Yeah, probably. But they did my best. Clean toilets, scrub the fridge. I wiped down walls, and I tried to make this house feel like a home for them. Smell good, look good, clean when they came in the door. So, guys, that's pretty much the long and short of it. Timing is everything. Expect the unexpected. Respect people's feelings and emotions when it comes to a move, because someone, it might not be easy when push comes to shove to make that move a reality. Do you have moving questions or a story? Tell me more. I want to hear all about it. You can email it to me. You can text it to me. With that said, thank you guys for listening. This episode was brought to you by Team Nikki Davis with FC Tucker MD for all your real estate needs. Located in Southwest Indiana, we are global, we are local, and we can help you from Indiana to across the globe. Give us a shout today. On the next episode of this Unbelievable Life, we're going to be talking with JD, Sheth from the JD Sheth Foundation. I can't wait to hear all about what she's doing in our community. Until then, my blessings to you for a productive and fabulous week. Make it extraordinary. Make it unbelievable.